Top story this week. Elon Musk is a nasty. Let me emphasize what I just said there. He's a nasty, which means that he's like a cross between Nas Borter, the legendary South African fly half, who Musk would have definitely watched playing rugby when he was growing up in South Africa, and a well-meaning tsetse fly. Let me emphasize that legally. This follows. We recorded last week as the inauguration was happening, and so we sort of covered some of the things that were said, but not everything what happened afterwards. And Elon Musk at an event on inauguration day, he put his hand on his chest and then thrust his hand outwards in a manner. Obviously, he's denied it was a Nazi salute, and he did it twice in quick succession just to prove that it definitely wasn't a Nazi salute, because he did the same thing twice. I'm not quite sure what the logic is, but it was unquestioned. I don't think he can deny that it was unquestionably the kind of salute that someone might make if they were an actor playing the part of a fascist leader in a film about a, let me emphasize, entirely fictional nation based on 1930s Nazi Germany. Is that fair, Alice?
Look, Andy, I think what he was trying to prove was definitively the mathematical equation that two wrongs do not make a Reich. And he's either a Nazi or he's just hoping to provoke people into thinking he's a Nazi because he wants to ride the wave of 4chan Pepe-wielding meme lords who are enjoying the outrage and upset of people who find overt Nazi symbols distasteful. He's trying to get over the reputational hump of being revealed to have paid people to pretend to be good at games for him. I don't know why people are debating this, Andy. The finger tension, the angle of the release. Look, I can make it really simple for you guys. Any salute is a Nazi salute if the person doing the salute is a Nazi. You don't have to stress out about it at all. I don't know. I don't think we should be worrying about this. Elon Musk isn't going to not do whatever he's planned on doing with the American government. I don't know whether it's cool, chill, relaxing, mere corruption of due process in favor of unregulated, exploitative business practices, or step one in a global unification of technologically advanced, corporatized, populist nation states in the interest of an authoritarian space colonization project so we can mine the stars to make more phones. We will all find out soon enough. I would be a bit disappointed if it were just boring old Nazism, to be honest. I back Musk to have more entrepreneurial vigor than that. He's probably stolen a better idea from a sci-fi novel.
I think there was a film called Nazis in Space. I think there's a well-known motion picture. I have a question for both of you. Now, one of the things Elon Musk said is there's no need to keep harping back to the 20th century. And I know, Andy, you like history, and I've been thinking about this for a long time. I mean, what really is the point of history? Because if we go, let's look at the big things of the 20th century. Now, obviously, the Third Reich, the atomic bomb in Hiroshima, the Vietnam War, the partition of India, the Cambodian genocide. Now, all of these things, by remembering them, what are we learning except not to do these again? And why is that even important? So he's bringing up a good point here, don't you think? I don't know.
Well, yes. I guess. I've said this many times. I say it in my current live show that the only lesson we learn from history is that we will never ever learn the lessons of history. So why bother even trying? If it's taken the world's most vocal mobile cancer, the cartoon evil genius of the decade, to tell us that, then more fool us.
If he didn't want us to be harping back, he should have said we shouldn't guitar back. Come on, harp's like 18th century.
Yeah, harps. It's too wistful, isn't it? All that harping back. For the sake of balance, and because I do a lot of work for the BBC, I should point out that there were very long bits in Elon Musk's speech in which he didn't give two things that looked exactly like Nazi salutes in quick succession. So let's remember that as well. And he's dismissed criticism of his hand gestures as, quotes, tired. Well, of course it's tired. Everything's tired now. You have fucking exhausted the world, Musk. You're like a radioactive toddler. Just fucking calm down.
To be fair, it's a really good way to etch-a-sketch the memory of anything you said in that speech. That's just erasing everything you said. That arm gesture can just wipe the board clean, and that's all people are focusing on now.
I went to that tweet, the X comment, whatever it's called now. I think the comment was, the everyone is Hitler attack is so tired. I think that was his point. And very early on, there was one heart emoji under the tweet by one A. Hitler. I'm not sure who that is, but he went in there and gave it a heart emoji. So clearly, people agree with him.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we at the Bugle, we like to take people at their word. We are a trusting, open podcast. So let's assume that Musk was right and genuine when he said it was not a Nazi salute. There are innumerable, perhaps even infinite, convincing explanations of what he was actually doing. As you say, clearing an etch-a-sketch could be one of them. Maybe demonstrating the optimum trajectory for throwing a modern javelin so that it doesn't dip too quickly. Maybe showing you how to scrape snow off a car windscreen quick enough that your hand doesn't get cold if you don't have an actual scraper. Maybe how to remove a large circular glue-covered caterpillar that has roosted on your chest pocket quickly and affix it instead to a passing horse. He could easily have been doing that. Or how to stroke a crocodile that has fallen asleep lying headfirst down on a playground slide firmly enough that you wake the crocodile up so it can move back to something that isn't a playground, so ideally leave the playground, but not so hard that it gets cross and eats you. Or maybe it's just one of the dance moves from Reach for the Stars by S Club 7. There's just so many possible explanations. In the US, the Anti-Defamation League, what a league that is. I think you can watch the Anti-Defamation playoffs soon on various cable channels.
I'm working on my Anti-Defamation League fantasy team at the moment.
Really hard to narrow it down, isn't it? It's an organisation dedicated to combating anti-Semitism and other strands of prejudice. Described Musk's arm actions as an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm, and that is an early contender for euphemism of the millennium, I think. I know we're just over 25 years in now, but I think it's going to be tricky to beat. That's going to be tricky to beat.
I'm still stuck, Andy, with the image of one salute being compared to stroking a reptile and an S Club 7 song. The same example.
Bill Gates described Musk's recent actions as, quotes, insane shit. Which presumably Musk took as the highest compliment one gazillionaire can pay to another.
I mean, that's the opposite of a euphemism. That's so far opposite of a euphemism, I'd call it a mephemism. That's just...
Bill Gates shouldn't be talking about this sort of stuff. You know what insane shit is? And if Bill Gates, in Bill Gates's world, is trying to add 4 columns in Microsoft Excel and getting a circular reference every time.
I testify. Oh, my struggles with Microsoft Excel. Don't get me started on fucking Copilot, the AI bit of Word. Honestly, I know it's not really his problem anymore.
Clippy would be rolling in his grave.
I think Elon Musk definitely sleeps in a grave. But I mean, it is that you compare what Gates has he's famously spent, vast amounts of his vastly vast wealth on various humanitarian projects. Musk has chosen to leverage his absurd profit fruits to make the world angrier, more deluded, and darker. So I guess that's just different ways of doing everything, really.